Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be continuing the series on ink pads, what they do, what they are, what kind of properties they have, etc., etc. So today I'm going to talk about ombre ink pads. So an ombre is basically a coloring technique where you go from a light tone to a darker tone, or light tone to a darker tone, one or the other. But basically, these are ink pads that have three different colors in them. This one's a little difficult to see, so I'll put this one here, but you can see, so we've got an orange, like a red, an orange, and then a like kind of a yellowy color. So there's three different tones in here. And there's a couple of different ones. The ones that I've seen the most though are by Hero Arts, and they have multiple different colors in them. They have a whole variety. So if you want to check out heroarts.com, you can see all of the different ones that they have. I have a 5 or 6 of these, I think. But they're rare that I pull them out. So that's why I thought, oh, this would be a good technique to go over today. And then I have a couple from Recollections that I've opened, but I haven't really used these ones either very much. So these ones have 3 different shades of green in them. Okay. And this one, although it looks like it's kind of like a teal to a purple, it's not. It's actually shades of blue. So yeah, so I've kind of got a purpley, a blue, and then kind of like a lilac color. So I think the ombre is this portion of the case here, trying to not get the reflection on there. Same thing in here. So we've got kind of a tealy green to a lighter leaf citron green kind of thing. Okay. So I'm going to show you what these pads can do and how I like to use them. I saw a great video and thought, oh yeah, that would be a really great idea. So I'm just going to put these ones to the side here. I'm going to grab a blank piece of cardstock. And so the first technique that I saw that I thought was really clever was actually just taking the ink pad like this. So I'll show you here how you can just be able to see it. So you're just taking the ink pad like this, putting it direct to paper and dragging it down. So that yellow is pretty light here. Just dragging it down. And then just putting a little bit more pressure on the yellow side there. And I'm going to clean that up a little bit. It's going to get all over my next project. Okay. These are all dye-based inks, so they are water soluble. Okay. Usually the ones that you get in ombre ink pads are water soluble, dye-based inks. However, I will show you that I do also have you can get an ombre reactive ink through Hero Arts. So this would be similar to like a distress ink or a distress, I haven't even opened this. I've had this for a very long time. I haven't even opened it. Distress ink or distress oxide would be very similar. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to put this to the side here. So this gives you a good idea of what kind of colors we've got here. Okay, so I've got a yellow, a red, and then kind of an orangey red tone. So it would create, in this case, would create kind of a sunset look. Neat. And I'm just going to put that to the side here and kind of show you what I created using that, because I'm going to need to, so this got quite saturated, this line of the red here. So that means that that particular ink pad is quite juicy on that one. But I'm just going to put that to the side there. And what I had done is I did this with the blue one, this one. So you can see the different tones. So it's hard to see the differences between, I'll put my card piece away here, but I've got kind of like, this is the deeper blue here. I've got a lighter blue, and then kind of this one has a bit more of a purpley tinge to it. So you can just sort of make out the differences in the tones there. And then I just stamped directly onto it. So this would be great to use if you have a, like silhouette stamps, if you've got some of those flowers. If you remember the video where we did the ink blending in between the two pieces of tape and then we stamped with a really beautiful silhouette, that would be same thing basically, but this one you're just going direct to paper. You don't have to do any blending. You just do a couple of swipes with your ink pad and then done. Like this would be a card. There I go. Happy birthday. I can put a happy birthday sentiment on the inside. I don't have to add anything else. I could outline my Make-A-Wish here, pop it off there. Let me see here. Can I find is this my glitter highlighter? I think that's my silver one. Put it away. There it is right there. Okay. So I could go in here, just add a little bit of color, a little bit of glitter to her wings. A little bit of sparkle and shine. If you've got a Wink of Stella pen, same thing, could do the same thing. This is just a jelly roll by Sukaniko, pretty sure. Yeah, and it's like a clear glitter. Just follow the beams of her wing here, or the edges of her wing. And then I can go in and outline my Make-A-Wish, just fill in the edges here so that that pops off my card a little bit. So the only thing is when you go to stamp your sentiment or your silhouette or whatever it is that you're stamping on top of, you kind of want to allow some time because that ink swiping, we are going direct to paper. So it is adding a lot of ink to your paper. If you're careful, so this one didn't bleed through. So I could actually do this right onto my card, but this one, yeah, see that one came directly through. So the video that I saw when somebody was doing it is they were doing it direct to their card, but I'm not sure, like to their card base, but I'm not sure that the ink wouldn't come through. It depending on how saturated you want your card to look, right? So I would probably just do it like I did here on a card front, and then just add your yeah, just add the card front to your card base. Let's add some highlight to there. Okay, let's put that aside. Now we've got a little bit of zhuzh. I don't know if you can see that on there. Let's get that a little closer. There we go. So you can see on her wings. Make-A-Wish, that all pops off. Easy peasy. That was literally like a 4-minute, 5-minute card. Very simple. And then I had the card base all cut and ready to go, and I can leave it blank, or I can put a sentiment inside. I can also take some of my copy paper or something like that, put a white base in here. If I'm selling this, I like to do that because not everybody has jelly roll pens that they can write on this lighter color. This is light enough that a black or a dark blue pen would show up on it, so it'd be okay, but sometimes it's nice to have the white, things like that. So, but really easy card, right? So that's one. I'm just going to put that to the side here. Now, the other thing that these are really great for is, let's say you don't have, let's say you don't want to have a lot of ink pads. You'd rather, that like out of this, by having these 2 pads, I've got 4 to 6 different colors, right? So if I wanted to, what I could do is take, just going to get a blending brush here. Take this yellow one. Okay, so this is, you're going to need them to be quite small, obviously. You can't use a full-size blending brush because it's going to be too big to be able to get your ink, to get a big blending brush in there. You're just going to get a mix mash of all of the colors. But if I wanted to, so I can go here, grab some of that yellow color like that, and buff in and add some more color here. Now I could also, if I wanted, take this from here and tap this onto my stamp, just like this. So I could actually just have the colors blending like that. So that's another option. There we go. There. So these can be pretty handy if you're looking to be cost effective without having to have a large investment in inks in your craft stash. Okay, that's obviously going to go back there. It's supposed to go easily. So I'm going to do this. Okay. So I'm going to, again, because I've added, see, you can see how much that's coming through the paper there. I've added a lot of moisture to that. So I'm going to put that aside to let it dry before I go and do anything else with it. So the thing that I bought, this particular ink pad, this ombre one was the very first one. This blue one was the very first one that I bought. And I bought it because I watched a technique because I just loved a stamp set that, not a stamp set, but a stamp. It's a foam rubber stamp by, I think it's Spellbinders, but don't quote me on that because this was before I started actually marking and doing my stuff. But it is actually a actual stamp, red rubber. So it's a very good high quality stamp. But as you can see, it's kind of got, it's like a nighttime sky. So there's a moon out of it and some stars, things like that. And this was, I saw a really cool technique with this that I just loved to make a night sky background. So I'm going to pull out my stamping platform here, and I've removed the foam pad out of it because this is red rubber, so I don't need it. Okay, I'm going to take this off. I'm going to put a piece of paper in here. Doesn't much matter where. I'm mostly just using this sticky mat, which has lost a lot of stick, so I'm going to have to wash it out and whatever. But to hold my cardstock in the same place. And then I'm going to pull this off. So this is what it stamps like. This is what it's going to look like when I'm done here. I'm going to put that aside, and I want to make sure that I'm getting the moon into my card. So I want to move it over here. Yeah. So this is the reason why I'm using my sticky mat is because you can see how large this is. It covers my entire card panel. I could be doing a 6x6. This is a 6x6 stamp. So I could be just doing a 6x6 full card. But even then I would need to have some overhang so that I could use the magnets to hold it in the same place and blah, blah, blah. But so I don't want to do that. So by doing it, putting the sticky mat in there, it will hold my cardstock without having to use my magnets. My magnets will hold my sticky mat to the bottom then instead, so I don't have to worry about it shifting. But it's also something that I can always put back. My cardstock won't come off of here until I go to pull it off. Okay, so I'm going to bring this kind of over to the side here. Actually, I think I'm done with this. And there is a way, go back to my Stamping 101 video if you don't have a stamping platform and you want to use one of these large stamps. Shows you how to get a good, really nice, why can't I think of the word? A nice impression without having to have a stamping platform. You just wouldn't be able to re-stamp. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Ombre ink pad. Okay, so you can see it's got 3 different lines here of color, but it also has, there's a bit of a gap in between the 3 lines. Okay, so because I don't want that, I'm not going to just, I think you'll be able to see if I go like this and I ink up, you can see that I end up getting a bit of a line there. So what I need to do is what we call, I need to go a little bit back and forth. So I'm going to do a bit of a cha-cha with my ink pad. So going up and down. And that way then I also get my ink colors blending a little bit. So I'm not getting those harsh edges. So that's what I want, is I want my card or my ink pad to continue to move back and forth, so that I'm inking up my stamp. Okay. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to continue. I'm going to keep going. I guess this would be horizontally. And I want to make sure that I'm continuing to cha-cha. Moving it up and down, making sure that I'm getting some good coverage. And you can clearly see where the ink is going down versus where it's not. Okay. And do the same thing, cha-cha-cha. Okay, so looks like I've got a pretty decent coverage. There's a few spots down here, but I can get those if I choose to re-ink. So now I'm just going to flip over the door. Give it a good all over press. This is a air hockey puck that I got from AliExpress. Works like a darn. If you don't have one of these, just go to your local dollar store and get a dry eraser marker, because that, you just want something that's smooth that will glide over, because you know your hand kind of sticks to this. So instead, by using this, it's got a bit of glide to it and it gives me pressure all over my card. Look at how cool that is. So I get a really nice Starry Night background with one ink pad. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and I'm going to ink up, doing the cha-cha-cha. I'm going to ink up again because you can see where there's a lot of white in between there. So I want to add a little bit more depth of color. So I'm just going to keep going back and forth. Okay, looks pretty good. Bring it over here. And now I don't need to push hard. All I'm doing is trying to create a bit of friction and allowing time, because this is dye-based ink, I want to allow the time for the paper to draw that ink towards itself and to have the ink sink into the paper. It's a water-based, dye-based ink, so it will absorb and sink into the paper. Pigment inks sit on top of the paper. So they only transfer from your stamp to the paper by friction, which is you pushing, right? For more information on that, go check out my what's the difference between a pigment ink and a dye-based ink video. Oh yes, looking great. Okay, so I still have a bit of a smudgy here, and I can see where that is not quite transferring on my ink pad here. Let's get that a little bit more, see if I can get that one spot. I mean, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't, because I'll just put my sentiment there or something like that. Oh, better. There. Now I've got complete coverage. I'm very happy with that. Now I'm going to wipe down my stamp. It's a lot of ink. It's quite a dark color. A bit of a wipe. I'll dry it off with my fiber cloth there. And I'm going to pull this one out. That's back. See, here it is. There it is. Oop, man. I have to put these back in the sleeves while I've got them here, because otherwise I'll forget which ones go where. You ever have that problem? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off my sticky mat. Okay. And in order to get this off, I'm just going to bend it back. There we go. Give this a bit of a wipe. It's kind of sticky, so it's not all, obviously all of the ink is not going to come off, but I can give it a bit of a wipe so that the next time I go to use it, I'm not getting ink all over everything. Now, these sticky mats can be washed with like hand soap or dish soap kind of thing. Give them a little bit of a wipe. They're very similar to your Cricut mats, actually. Okay, so I'm gonna hold that there for now. Close that up. Bring that up to the top. So you guys can have a really good look at it. Okay, so this is quite wet. I mean, I used 3 different applications of ink, right? Like I inked up my stamp 3 times. So there is quite a bit of ink on there. I'm not going to make this into a card today, but what I love about this one is I have a fairy that I used. It's kind of, she looks a little bit like the Tooth Fairy, actually, that I have as a die that I cut out in color. She looks really cute with that, but I also have some really adorable little aliens. I don't have any colored, unfortunately, right now, but they'd be really, really cute on this, just kind of floating out in space. They're like alien astronauts kind of thing. So, but how easy was that to get a really cool nighttime background? And with the colors, you know, like it kind of looks a little bit like a slightly cloudy sky with the stars. Or I could even add in like some shades of pink and green. And now then it's, if I'd have gone up and down with this one, that could have made it look like the Northern Lights. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do that. That's a good idea. Let's give it a go. See if it'll look like the Northern Lights. I think it will. So after I put everything away, Why do you do that to yourself? Good question. Good question. Okay, so I'm gonna plop this in here, right about the same spot. And this back. Sorry guys, I just got distracted, but I want to try it out while I'm thinking about it. So let's give it a go, shall we? All right. Okay, the moon is there. Go. Okay. Okay. Now, let's go up and down. So I'm going to go up and down and a little side to side so that I am getting the mixing of those colors, right? The blending. I don't want those harsh lines. There's some there. There we go. Whoop. Now, the only thing that you need to keep in mind is not to turn your pad, because of course your ink will be different on the other side, right? So I want to make sure that I'm keeping it upright this way so that I know that I'm going to grab it from that same direction this time. Oh, that's going to be so cool. Okay, more re-inking. Cha-cha-chaing. And I don't need to totally worry about the edges because obviously I can see when I pulled up my stamp here, I can see where the where my cardstock is versus where is it going to the sticky mat, right? So I don't need to bother inking up those edges if I don't feel like it. Sometimes it's just, you know, it's a big ink pad, so sometimes that's how it goes, but it doesn't need to be done if you have a good idea of where your ink is going. You don't need to worry about that too much. Oh my goodness. Made a good arm workout today. Wow. I'm happy with that. And I got really good coverage. So I don't think I'm going to do a third stamping. I think I'm good with that. White here. So maybe in the comments, you guys, have you guys seen these ink pads and kind of wondered about them and how you're supposed to use them previously? Or are these new to you? Have you used them before? Did you like them? Do you find lots of different uses for them? Let me know. Or have you seen them, or are you like me and you have them in your stash and you rarely bring them out because you're like, I'm not really sure what to do with those? And are actually finding this video helpful. That's kind of nice, eh? I don't know about you. I have quite a bit of things like that. So it's always nice when I can figure out a new way of doing something. Okay, so I'm going to try and keep my fingers away from the edge there because that is a lot of wet ink. This with the white. There we go. Neat. Creaky chair. I'm going to put the plastic back on because I'm going to use this again in just a second here, but that to the side. Look at that up and down. So we've got one that's going horizontally, one that's going vertically. How cool are those? Right? And then on this one that's going up and down, like I could take my oxides, like the Salvage Patina here, or Twisted Citron, a light pink, and just kind of using a blending brush or a light blending brush, I could bring those up and down, add some of that color, and create more Northern Lights, and just have the stripes kind of going with it. That is a very cool, whole new thing. I didn't even think of that. Awesome. Okay, so that's that one. I saw somebody doing this really cool technique where she was using the ombre pads to create a gradation. Ooh, shoot, what's going on there? Just lost video. See if we can, maybe we could do that. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what the heck happened. My camera, my iPhone just switched itself. So we're going to come this way. That's so funny. I'll fix that for the next video. I'm doing a bunch of videos today because I'm behind. I'm actually late by the time this one goes out. We're supposed to have a video out on Monday or Wednesday. And life has been quite busy and hectic. And it's going to be that way over for the next couple of months. So I don't know, right? Like I had a really great April. I had so much time in April. And May, how is it possible that we are so far into May already? Is anybody else feeling like that? How is it possible we are at the 5th month? So I'm going to use this really cool stamp. You can see that it's kind of like pin, bunch of pin dots kind of thing. And it's really kind of driving me bonkers. I want to make sure that I am in frame here. So I'm going to put this down here. Anyway, the technique that I was talking about is she had used her ink pads and kind of created not quite a rainbow, but used them to, no, I'm going to go this way, up. There we go, up. I'm going to tilt that this way too. There we go. Okay. All right. Ooh, that is so irritating. I'm so sorry, you guys. I will figure this out for the next video. I'm not sure why. Please don't comment that my video went all wonky because I can clearly see that it did. And as you can see, yes, I am still wearing my Christmas sweaters. It's a little chilly in the basement today. But anyway, okay, so we'll have to do this. I think, yeah, that at least gives you guys up and down there. Okay, what she had done is she had used her different ink pads to create kind of a really cool gradation, almost like a rainbow, of coloring her card, basically. So that's what I want to do is I'm going to give that a go. So I'm going to make sure that the part where I'm inking up is in frame. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. So it's got the red, the orange, and the yellow. It actually kind of goes orange, red, yellow. But I want to have the yellow up at the top. And I'm going to ink up in this area here. And I'm doing my zhuzhing or my cha-cha-ing. Okay, up and down, up and down, up and down, like this. Okay, I'm going to keep that in the same direction. And I'm going to pull this over, stamp down. Hopefully I got it in the right direction. I missed some at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to have to come further down then, stamping. That is the blessing of the stamp platform, is you can always make corrections, right? I want to come fairly high up with the yellow because I want to add the blue one, and hopefully I can get, I'm going to try and get a green out of it. Okay. Either moved. Oh, well, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to put this one to the side, and I'm going to give this a bit of a wipe so I'm not getting too much cross contamination. Okay, and here, and I'm going to go with these. Just cha-cha-ing. A bit of a cha-cha, cha-cha. Okay, and I'm going to bring that over, clump it down here. Very nice. Okay, and we're going to stamp again. Okay, not stamp, we're going to ink up, re-ink up. Okay. Push this back down into the corner so that it goes, should theoretically go back into the same place that I stamped before. I didn't check to make sure it had hadn't moved after the first, and I moved it again. Oh well, that's fine. Just kind of gives this weirdo, looks a little dimensional, like off center there. So the other thing that I wanted to give a try to is I wanted to see if I could manage to get I'm going to pull out where the orange is here. So I want to try and get a little bit of that orangey red color at the top. I prefer the red, but I'm not going to be able to get that in there because red and blue make purple, of course, right? So that's what I'm going to try and see if I can put that to work up there. Oh, cool. Okay. That is very interesting. Let's pull that off. Okay, let's give it pull it off first. Okay. All right. Wipe. 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 Let's put in here. This a wipe. Baby wipes are shedding. Okay. So I'm going to pull this up. I'm sure this is the one there. That, and then we have. Oh, so this particular one is the bold, it's called Bold Prints Cling Stamp by Hero Arts. This is one that I actually kept the packaging for. Can you do that? I don't know how to do that, but I did. So. Yeah, don't see. Bold Prints by Bold Prints. Helps if you don't have to read it upside down, right? Okay, so I'm gonna put the plastic back on this guy to keep it covered. And I have another one that I'm gonna stamp, but I'm gonna need my, but look at how cool this is. So you can see here, I've got the orange into the red, into the yellow, which then I added, I came down a little bit too much with the blue, but I do have some greens, I have some blues, and I have a little bit of purples. So from a distance, this actually really does look quite rainbowy, which I like. Now, for this one, for this kind of card, I could do a very simple, I can do, it's your birthday. Actually, I think I want to do, I like this darker edge. So I'm going to keep the lighter colors up at the top there. So it's your birthday. And then, let's see here. I've got these really cute hippopotamuses that I colored. Like, look at him. He's so cute. So we could do that. I think. I actually like, because it's so, what's the word? Oh, there's a word for it. Because it's so bright and there's so much detail back there, I think I want to keep it simple. And these guys aren't colored like really in depth. So I kind of like this gray off of there, like this little shark there. He's so cute. Yeah, so I think that that's really quite cute. So I would trim it down, put it on a card base, and call it good. The other thing that I could do, so I do have, now these are, I have these really cute gnomes that I colored. And I've got this really great black sentiment that says feel better soon. Look at how nice that is. Like, it's really got a lot of texture to it. And I can do, so this one is kind of like, oh, sorry, you're under the weather. That would go on the inside, right? Or we've got this guy who's got crutches. So I could do feel better soon, put him there. And we could do this guy, let's see here. We could do feel better soon. Like that, where he's just under there. That's really cute too, actually. With this little teddy bear. So that's one option in order to keep it. Sorry, I've got that backwards to you guys. I just realized. There we go. See, feel better soon. Cute little guy here. So I could bring that up on the card a little bit so it's not at the bottom. Trim it down, put it on a card base. All look good. I've got a cute little feel better soon. Whoa. And then one of these extra gnomes I could actually put on the inside of the card. That would be really cute. The other one, I don't think you guys actually saw it, is this, it's your birthday, like that. Hopefully keep it there. And then actually I might even be able to come up a little bit. Yeah. So like that. How cute is that? So cute, right? Oops, sorry. I'm back into frame there. trim it down. It's your birthday. But because there's so much color going on in the background, this really pops off, right? Just that nice neutral, but all of the iridescence in the sentiment kind of catches a lot of the colors. So I'm really happy with those as options. So I'm going to put that to the side to continue drying before I go and put it on the card. Okay. Now the other one that I wanted to show you is I want to try that technique again of using the multiple pads or the multiple colors anyways, because I'm not actually using multiple pads, I'm just using two. Well, technically two, I guess, is a multiple. Okay, so for this one, because it is not a red rubber stamp, I'm going to put the mouse pad back in my stamping platform. Okay, and I'm going to take, I love this. This is a background sentiment by Crafty Cottage. It's called Crafty Cottage by Tailored Expressions, if you're interested in. Okay, so I'm going to do some sort of a smooch on that. Pull this off, and I think I can get right into the corner with this one. Yep, I can. Okay. Now, nothing's going to be holding this down, but as long as I make sure that my paper goes right back into the corner here, I'll be fine. Okay. So I don't need my magnets to hold it down. Okay. Okay, so now I haven't shown you guys these ones. So I'm going to start in the same way. I kind of liked that. I thought it was kind of cool. So I'm going to do, sorry, I'm out of frame again. Sorry. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. I'm inking up and I'm just kind of going side to side. And this has a fairly clear delineation of the yellow and the red. So you can bring that up just like that. And that's the side. Okay. Now I think, yeah, you guys can see that as I stamp that down. Okay, and I'm going to put that back into the corner. I'm going to ink it up again. Alrighty, so I've got some yellow. Now, because these are words, the other one was okay with the polka dots, but these words do need to be fairly, I can't have them a little to the side. That's not going to work out. Ah, beautiful. Okay, cool. Like, look at how good that's looking right there. All right, I'm going to give that a quick little wipe here. Oof. Okay, and I want to use the greens a little bit. So that's this one here that I've got. So I'm going to ink that up a little bit. See if I can get a little bit of transfer into the green. It's very light, this pad. Oh, very nice. Ooh, I'm happy with that. All right. I'm inking up again. Not too high. Oh, yes. See, look at how cool that's looking now. So I'm creating a rainbow without having to pull out a bunch of different pads. Right now, I've only got the two. Now I'm going to bring out this other one with the kind of the blues to the, yeah, the deeper blues, lilac-y colors. And I'm going to pull that across here. To lift some of that here. So all I'm doing, I was able to see where about I had stamped the blue, right? So all I'm doing now is taking my baby wipe and just kind of touching up a few places and removing some of the ink before I go and put it down. Doodly, it moved. Oh, I shouldn't have moved it now. Well, still, okay. I'm gonna have to redo this one, but I won't do it while you guys are waiting. But I want to show you guys what this looks like now, because it's totally cool. If I hadn't fudged up my thing here, bugger. Oh well, it's okay. I will live. But I'm going to show you guys what this looks like because it's very, very cool effect. Right. So, oops, sorry, let me turn that around. Okay. But look at how cool. So you can just see here on the green and the joy. So most of this probably would have been okay, but this glitter and joy, maybe I'll just put my sentiment up there or something like that, or put a little image of somebody crafting or something like that up there. So I might not need to. Well, I'll redo it because I really like it. But look, I've got like the red oranges to the yellow. Then I was able to add in the green and a little bit of the blue of multi-toned colors. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. So I'm going to pull over all of the samples of what we've done today. So that was our, this is going to be the class today using our Ombre Ink Pads. Okay. And then we've got this one. I'm going to try and fit them all in here. But for a technique, for a class, or for a ink pad, it really does have quite a few applications that you might find very handy. So like I said, the ones that I've seen the most of are the Hero Arts ones. By Hero Arts, they're great. Hero Arts is a good company. You can find these at scrapbook.com, heroarts.com, I'm sure, simonsastamp.com, probably here in Canada, at a lot of other places as well. It's a fairly well-known brand, so you should be able to find them, having no problem with that. I don't know if Michaels carries these recollection stamp pads anymore. This might have been something that, they've gotten rid of a lot of their paper crafting things, so I don't know that you're gonna be able to find that one. But if you do, I mean, you can always use your coupon on, and then it's a really good price, which is always nice. So yeah, if you have any questions, again, I'm really sorry about the camera angles, and I don't know what happened there. I had it set and then it did its thing. So please, yeah, there's nothing I can do about it mid-video. So I will fix it for the next one. But yeah, please comment, share it with your friends, like, subscribe. Yeah, I'd love to hear if you have any questions that you'd like to have answered. Please do let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.